What's up, y'all? You know what time it is. It's about to be that time.
Where'd you find this?
Savage.
And we're back. 1003, 10 hundo and 3. If you're new to the channel, I'm Randy Troy. People come here for the memes and the hype, and they stay for the Troy boy theories. Alright, and speaking of which, there is a lot to speculate on. There is a lot to talk about here. This is the best chapter of the year so far, 10 out of 10. That's not saying much because it's only the third chapter of the year. But even still, we finally left the action up top. We went downstairs, which is what I've been waiting for, and that's where we're going to start the the discussion today, because that's where that's where the meat of this chapter is. Sure, we had Luffy going in on Kaido. We had Zoro matching Twister for Twister with Kaido. Fantastic. You know, going all the way back to Arlong Park, the very first time he used his Tatsumaki attack. We got Kid being jealous, but more than all of that, Monocle Boy here, Mr. CP0, has revealed that he is on the board. Okay, CP0 is here. We knew that they were in Wano. We didn't know that they were still in Wano. They showed up at the beginning of Act 2 in the opening scene where we met Shogun Orochi, right? And Orochi was puffing his chest out to them, and we knew that there was this sort of connection between Orochi and CP0. My headcanon is firing. Who are these guys? Okay, had a great comment in the live stream, which everybody who came to the live stream, thank you. It's a lot of fun seeing you guys there. Dan in the live stream said, could these be some of the recruits from Mother Carmel? That's possible. Maybe Big Mom didn't eat everybody. Maybe she didn't eat everybody, guys. And if you go back, there's one particular kid that looks very similar to one of our CP9 agents here. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. Now, we first met CP0 all the way back in Dressrosa. They were introduced to us by concept, or, the concept of CP0 was introduced to us by Law, okay? Now, if you've watched the Law theory and all of that I have on this channel, you know that I believe that Law is a member of SWORD, okay? That is the organization that X-Drake and Kobe are members of. I believe that Garp is the leader and founder. Why? Because of the Kobe connection. I believe that Suru is involved because of the Drake connection. But because Law also has connections, direct connections, to Kobe by way of the Rocky Port incident, and by Drake by just sharing so many panels with him, even his introduction, there is a lot to go in. You can check that video for more. But we have CP0, we have SWORD. SWORD is the secret organization of the Marines that wants to oppose CP0 and the world government. CP0 is the organization of the world government that does the direct bidding of the Celestial Dragons. Okay, we know that CP0 has a vested interest in the weapons that are being manufactured in Wano that were found in Dressrosa by the Revolutionary Army, namely Sabo, Koala, and Hack, right, and later Karasu. So, what does this mean in terms of the Revolutionary Army? Now, I've been saying that the Revolutionary Army have a stake in this fight because they want to dismantle the weapons. They want to topple the world government. They want to attack the Celestial Dragons, okay? So, they went straight for the head by going for the Reverie, but the Reverie was a while ago, okay? And now we've got some CP0 agents in play over here, and I'm just imagining a scenario where, you know, we finally get the curtain on Act 3. We go back and we see a conversation between, say, Rob Lucci over at the Reverie and this unnamed monocle guy that is at Onigashima right now. Okay? What if the rest of CP0 shows up for this fight? Because if that happens, then the Revolutionary Army is in tow. They want to dismantle these weapons, and the way to do that is to fight Kaido. He's the one that's making the weapons. All right? My guy Monocle Man over here, who will remain Monocle Man until, you know, we get an Oda box for him, looks at the decapitated head of Orochi, and if you've been following the channel, we know Orochi is not dead. That is the you know, the going speculation over here. He has the Yamato no Orochi, so he has 8 heads. You get rid of one of them, he's still got, you know, 7 others. His main human head, I believe, is gone. Next time that we see him moving around in his body, he will have transformed the inner ugliness that he has outward, so that he will only be able to use and speak from a very disgusting snake head, because he is a snake himself. And that would be fun. The implications of CP0 being here are far-reaching. And we also have this allegory of the game of Go that is being played by 2 of the other members. Now, what we have here, and I'm by no means a Go master or anything like that, but when you look at the Go board that they have created, it does not look good for the white team. The white team representing the Alliance, the black team representing Kaido's forces. Now, in a game of Go, the black stones, they go first, okay? They have the advantage. So, what this is saying is that Kaido has the advantage here. Now, the idea within Go, which the allegory, the metaphor here, is far-reaching among just the Yonko saga to begin with, because the Yonkos are all about, the Emperors are all about gaining and holding territory, which is what the game of Go is all about in the first place. You want to get as many stones on the board, you want to surround the other stones until you can start whittling down the other team's forces. Okay? So what we have here is these 5 white stones, each one of them representing 1,000 Alliance members, and they are in a tricky situation here, ready to be captured on this Go board. Okay, now the only way for them to turn the tide here would be to flip some of these stones, and who can do that? Tama.
Savage.
Long-standing members of the channel know that, you know, we talk about Tama a lot here because she is important. She was the first character introduced to us at the beginning of Wano. Luffy went out of his way to tell the audience that her power is powerful, that it is useful. Those were his words. Wow, your power is useful. Those are words that we don't really see from Luffy very often. So he respects the power that Tama has. This is a foreshadowing technique from Oda. Tama, following the folklore of Momotaro, is now on Onigashima. She's working with Nami and Usopp. I want to see some dangos fly, all right? And that is what's going to flip some of these black squares into white squares as she creates a gifter army on her way to TTK. Tama tames Kaido. Will it happen? Maybe. There's foreshadowing based on the folklore of Momotaro, but, you know, this is still Luffy's story at the end of the day. I'm going to settle for, you know, page 1 and or ulti getting turned. Let's get the confirmation that it works on Zoans. We know that it's going to work on gifters, so no matter what, we are at least going to get a gifter army, and that is going to flip the sides here. Will that be enough to get us out of this situation, to get us out of this raid alive? Well, things are not looking good up top, right? We got Luffy. He has exhausted himself. Oh, no. Luffy, come on. Okay, chapter 1002 showed us all of the members showed us the weaknesses of Zoro, Kid, Killer, and Law. This chapter showed us the weakness of Luffy. Now, of course, we as readers know, but now in the context of this, where does the fight go? 10 minutes is a lot of time against 2 emperors. So this is where now Zoro, Kid, Killer, and Law are going to have to show and prove to try and keep Luffy alive until he can, regain his haki and maybe bust out a new move, a new form, something like that. What this Go board represents for me, and what the inclusion of CP0 here, which I've always expected in the back of my mind that they would play a role probably in a later act, but now they're here, makes me believe that maybe this all can end here, but that we are going to lose first, leave, go find out some stuff that happened at the Reverie, and understand why the Revolutionary Army would come to Wano. So if we can jump back in time and see something at the Reverie, maybe a revolutionary member overhears, maybe Morley or something like that, overhears a conversation between Lucci and Monocle Man, and that they know now where the weapons are being manufactured. We know that CP0 is going over there, and if they dwindle the forces of CP0, that's going to be a crushing defeat to the methodology and the goals of the world government and, by extension, the Celestial Dragons, because that's their goal. Celestial Dragons are taking these weapons and they are using them for wars. This is why we saw, Niji and Ichiji in their initial introduction panels, at Broccoli Island or something like that, trying to handle both sides of these wars, and that was the effect of just taking out Doflamingo. Taking the weapons out of Dressrosa created that sort of that terrible situation over there. Now, with Orochi being gone, with the weapons going away here in Wano, that's going to be an even further crushing blow, leading us into the end game against Imu and the Celestial Dragons, which will probably be a factor in the final war. So this is an incredible development that is moving us towards not only the end game of this arc, but the end game of this series, and the implications of this chapter are extremely far-reaching. I believe that the Revolutionary Army has to play a role in this arc at some point, and with all of the Ace foreshadowing and all his fruit and even the power of fire that Luffy is has put into his body, I feel like there's the prophecy of 9 shadows. I feel like Sabo is going to be one of those shadows if we end up getting to a point where he is not captured, he comes to Wano, and then he ends up being a part of the final fight as well. And then through Ace's will, who never got to fight Kaido but wanted to, he'll be living on through Sabo, and Sabo will get a hit in or not. I mean, even though that's already kind of happening with Luffy either way. But these are things that could happen. Oda at any time can surprise us. Now, CP0 is known as the most intellectual group in the world, and here they know exactly who is playing this game. They know exactly how many stones to put on this Go board. And this is courtesy of all of the people that we've been seeing throughout this arc wearing these paper masks with the eyes on them. Now, we still need confirmation on this. Not only do we need confirmation, we need information to begin with. We can understand that it's some sort of security camera thing. It almost works like Viola's devil fruit, right? We saw the cat looking around, and it's like there must be some sort of connection between everybody wearing these masks, like as if there's some sort of a hive mind. Wherever they are, they're able to see and transfer the information of what's being seen through that eye. And we know that the largest grouping of this group was with Who's Who during his introduction. So Who's Who could be a plant. He could be a CP0 plant. And, there's the theory that he's a third-eyed tribe member, that these eyes could be the secret power of the third-eyed tribe. That's still a possibility. But he can be a third-eyed tribe member and also still be a member of CP0. It's not, exclusive to one or the other. So ultimately, we need more information on what that power is. It's still very ambiguous to us. Is it Monocle Man's power? Who knows? But this guy, who has just been a side character to us for a very long time, well, not even a side character, just, almost as ambiguous as Vegapunk, although we've seen him, is now making his move, so to speak. This scene plays quite menacing. And I'm very interested to see how they insert themselves further into this arc. I do see some sort of a confrontation between CP0 and the Straw Hats at some point, which, even down the line could bring us to a round 2 with Rob Lucci. Rob Lucci is not personally one of my favorite villains, but I do like Kaku, so, either way, it's going to be an interesting thing. Let's see how far our heroes have grown going up against, some of the same people that they've fought. But more than anything right now, I want to see Drake's reaction to CP0 being on Onigashima, because that's going to lead to more information on Sword. Does CP0 know about Sword? Do they know about Drake? These are things that I think they've hidden well enough, even from the organization that is touted to have the most intelligence in the world. Other than that, my second favorite part of the chapter, besides all of this stuff with CP0, which is certainly far-reaching, is the small panel of Usopp, Nami, and Tama. Tama looking like a real boss, executing her plan. We need more information on that, and I'm excited to find out. Now that we've gone back downstairs, we've seen, we're getting these little panels and all of that, it's very likely that we'll go back downstairs. Will Oda tease us with Kaido's hybrid form for a few chapters like he did with Sulong, Inuarashi, and Nekomamushi? Very possible. He's a tease, so don't expect to get hybrid Kaido next week, guys. Maybe 2-3 chapters from now. Or it could be next chapter. Who knows? But just, don't be surprised if he continues to hold off. I'm going to be happy if we continue to go back downstairs. I want to see everything else, because nothing on top can move forward unless we do more downstairs. We have to have some resolution downstairs for anything to stick up top. Okay? I believe that the raid should still fail. That it should fail. Not that it will, but that it should, so that we get some sort of a drama here. But every chapter, every new chapter that Oda does, he's changing the game. He's changing the headcanon in my mind of whether or not this is it, or if we are, getting a situation where the raid fails, everybody runs with their tail between their legs, Act 4 becomes some sort of a training arc, and then Act 5 is, the actual final confrontation. Now, we could get something like that, but not without the mini time skip that I'm thinking. It could all just be within the time that Onigashima is actually going to, land on Wano. But if the Revolutionary Army shows up, then I expect Vivi to be with them. I have my Vivi theory, which talks about, I think that she's hiding out with the Grand Fleet because they have the Viva card, but she could be with the Revolutionary Army as well. And I do expect Vivi to come back by the end of this arc to begin with, because of everything in the Reverie. And then not only that, if you go back to chapter 909, we got a Oda box for Luffy. And what is the conversation that he's having, like, right after his Oda box? is, wow, it's been a long time since we've seen Vivi. I would love to see her again. And that tells me that we're going to come full circle. We're going to end this arc with Vivi coming back. That could happen sooner than later. And this is all exciting stuff. And furthered by the reintroduction to CP0. Oh, and then there's also something I want to share with you guys. We got some more art. People are you know, drawing more stuff for the channel. Shout out to my guy Kame Animes. He did this drawing of me in a One Piece fashion for his One Piece D&D. He's got a Discord for all of that if you want to check that out. All right, so let's talk about it, right? I'm looking like Sanji in Water 7. I'm talking Sea Train Pinstripe Sanji, except instead of orange, we got blue all the way down to the shoes. Certified drip indeed. 10 out of 10 Savages approve. I got the Mr. Prince glasses. I love it. And then my guy, Dan DiCarlo, who drew a Jolly Roger for the channel. First of all, I love this. My favorite part is the film reel behind me, you know, which of course signifies that, you know, I work in the film industry. We got the hair looks great with the Superman curl, with the Randy Troy curl, excuse me. We got the chain, we got the sunglasses, which is another one of my favorite additions, because when I'm not on camera or indoors, I'm probably wearing sunglasses, so that's definitely a staple. I've always wanted a Jolly Roger, and this is, I love it. 10 out of 10 Savages. Thank you for that, guys. Thanks for all the continued support from everybody, and looking forward to seeing everybody for the 1004 stream. Things are heating up. Later, everybody.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.